house, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Doug, how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fancy.
You got that A24 sweatshirt on? How much did that set you back? $80?
Yeah, about. But my mom got it for me for Christmas, so
Hey, there you go.
I didn't spend a dime.
Are you an A24 member?
No, I really should be, though, because it's free to sign up and you get like special merch drops and stuff like that.
Is it free? I don't think it is, right?
I actually don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's... I don't know.
Maybe there's multiple tiers.
Yeah, have to look into it. Yeah, so tonight we are gonna do something a little bit different. We are going to review, or not review, we're gonna go through this list by Variety.com, the Masters of Horror, and see what they say are the 21 best Halloween movies ever.
Again, subjective.
Sure.
Article is definitely subjective, but we love to give our commentary on this type of stuff.
What are your go-to Halloween movies?
Oh, right off the bat, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is one I have to put on every October.
That's a good one. I saw that in theaters last Halloween at the Alamo.
Yes, and I was extremely jealous that you got to see that bad boy on the big screen.
It's a good time.
Oh yeah, I saw it on the big screen 2 years ago, I think, maybe. And you actually turned around on it, right? You're like, oh, I get this movie now. Because you weren't a big fan of it.
Well,
or you liked it, but...
as a lifelong Halloween fan, being a headstrong young little shit that I was like, this movie doesn't have Michael Myers, I'm not even gonna watch it. And, very ignorant of me. But as I got older, I watched it a few times, and each time I watch it, I like it a bit more.
It's just a really solid movie. Take Michael Myers out of it, it still feels like a Halloween movie.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
The feel of it, that Tommy Lee Wallace, he really directs the hell out of that movie. And aside from it not being a Michael Myers movie, Halloween movie, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, and it still has the cinematography from Dean Cundy, who did the first two Halloween movies. Got the soundtrack from John Carpenter. So yeah, it does feel very of that world.
And the opening just makes me so happy.
Maybe I'll throw that on tonight.
That's a really, really good one to start the Halloween official season off, October 1st, as of today. It is
October 1st. Thank God.
It is here. The chill is in the air. The pumpkins are throwing up seeds outside.
I'd rather not start the spooky season off with this, but you know what? Things happen.
I was going to say, show that cast off, baby. He's actually prepping to be a skeleton in Swan Lake, the new.
Hey, I could. You know what?
Lake.
I could pull off Michael Myers Halloween 2018. He gets these 2 fingers blown off. So there you go.
I smell a cosplay.
Yeah, sucks.
And all it sucks.
It's an understatement.
This day last year, we met the man himself, John Carpenter, with our friend Yaz out in California at the Halloween 45 convention.
Yeah.
It comes full circle, baby.
I was just texting with Vanessa recently. She hit me up and asked if I was doing okay with the recent devastation in Western North Carolina, which is, side note, fucking heartbreaking and insane. But here in Raleigh, didn't get any effects from it. But anyways, I told her, like, hey, hard to believe that it's been a year since we were there, but would love to come back. And she said that I was like, are there any good cons coming up? And she mentioned Spook IE, Spooky Con. It's in January or February.
I've never heard of it.
Or maybe it's Creep. I don't know. One of those. But I was like, hey, I just
You
want
can
an
Google it.
excuse to go back. So
Especially like, I mean, I felt like we went during the perfect time. Weather was great. We were Halloween Horror Nights was open. I think we got to see everything that we literally came there for.
except the comedy store. But
Oh yeah, shit.
yeah.
Take that back. Forgot about that.
Yep.
Didn't see the comedy store, so that's just another excuse to go back. Yeah, that was such a fucking blast.
Yeah, that was a good time. And yeah, I'll hit up John. Maybe we can go back. Well, Doug, are you ready to get into this Variety.com article?
Let's see what the head honchos of Variety thinks about the best 21 Halloween movies.
Okay. And if you see on the side here, Frank Fritz, American Pickers.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, you didn't know that?
No! All I knew about was John Amos, and I knew about Ken Page, who voiced Oogie Boogie, A Nightmare Before Christmas. He passed away today. Damn! I used to love American Pickers. He kind of looked like my dad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like a little munchkin version of him. Damn.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But, all right, let's get to this honey hole.
I already don't like what I say. You scroll down just a wee bit too far, and yep, there it is.
All right, to kick it off, number 21, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from 2019. Have you seen this, Doug?
I've actually never seen it. So I really have no say on this.
Yeah, how do you know?
You know when you have that gut feeling that just tells you that something is great or something is garbage? This is one of those feelings.
You know what? I watched it. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but it does have a good fall atmosphere to it. I remember there were parts of it that I actually enjoyed. I mean, it's not like a knock your fucking socks off kind of movie, but yeah, sure. I could see like a teenager that's kind of getting into horror movies. That would be a good entry point for him.
Is it PG-13 or rated R?
PG-13.
Okay. And Guillermo del Toro is behind it, so there has to be some good scares in there. But the whole, I mean, when I saw the trailer and I saw a bunch of clips, it just looked too glossy and shiny and
It kind of is. Yeah.
kind of a CGI fest. Again, the books are great. You know, there's a lot of source material that you could take from. I think like a sequel is in the works, maybe. I've heard some rumblings of that for a hot minute. It did come out in 2019, which is pretty wild. Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot just to be on a list of like 21 best Halloween movies.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is Variety. I don't know. It says it was written by like 5 different people. I don't know. I never know what the process is for those, like any kind of list, like the 100 greatest albums of all time. It's like,
They could be completely different if you put it in the hands of 5 other people.
according to a few people.
Yeah, who apparently speak for all of us.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a list where I'm like, yep, they got it 100% correct.
Oh no. I was reading a list a while ago about like the TV shows of all time, and I think they put I think it might have been Variety. They put Mad Men at like number 2. I was like, all right, I'm out. Over Breaking Bad, that was a little bit of a gut punch there.
What was number 1?
Sopranos.
Ah, okay. Still haven't seen that.
Me neither. I've never seen it, which is horrible for my Italian rep.
It really is.
It,
I expect more from you.
I watched Goodfellas to make up for it at least 90 times.
Still got to watch Donnie Brasco.
That's on the list, baby.
Yeah. All right, Doug, you ready for number 20?
Scroll on down the pike.
Practical Magic, 1998.
Okay.
I know that. Okay, have you ever seen this?
I actually watched the back half of it. Brittany had it on the other day, so I didn't watch the full thing, but I came home from work and this was on, and I watched it for a little while and turned to her and was like, I don't think Sandra Bullock is that great of an actress.
That's there's an argument there. She's okay.
She's fine. She's fine. Middle of the road.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a movie with Sandra Bullock and you went, holy shit, what a performance? Probably not.
Speed?
Speed is a great movie, not because of her.
No. I mean, she has like a great catalog of work, but I have no real opinion on this because I didn't sit down and focus on Practical Magic. But over the years, I've heard that it's an underrated classic.
Yeah.
But is it Halloweeny?
Honestly, I don't even know. I watched it once about 10 years ago while I was pretty intoxicated at the time, and I was kind of like half paying attention to it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say.
Yeah, so it could be or could not be on the list.
But it's got Nicole Kidman. Even heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
When it comes to Practical Magic, she fucking brings it to the theater
Because
every time you go there.
They are.
AMC, we make movies better. I can't do the Australian accent.
I was waiting for you to go, we make movies better.
We make movies better, mate. This isn't a movie. This is a movie.
All right, number 19. Oh, Ginger Snaps from 2000.
This is another movie I have yet to see.
Whoa. All right.
I've gotten it spoiled for me.
I kind of hate when people say this, but dude, you got to watch it. I love this movie.
Pull the card.
I love it. It's a great werewolf movie. Catherine Isabel. She's great in it. So is her sister. I forgot that actress's name, but yeah, solid movie. Great atmosphere. Just feels like Halloween.
And was it marketed as a werewolf movie? Because I didn't know that. I didn't really know what it was about, but I've seen obviously clips from it and pictures. I've never got werewolf out of that movie. I just thought it was a movie about, two spooky, potentially suicidal teenagers, but I could be wrong and thinking of something else.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've seen that several times. Yeah, it's a good watch. I think you would enjoy it.
That's going on the list for October, baby.
Man, your list just never ends. File this under movies Phil tells me to watch, but I will never watch.
To be fair, other people have told me to watch this movie, but your list is growing.
All right, number 8.
You watch Caveat. Shit.
Yeah, haven't seen Caveat. Number 18, Night of the Demons. Okay, all right.
I would say that's a good pull for the month of October. Great Halloween movie, good haunted house movie, good 80s camp, solid costuming. Kind of got I feel like the quintessential 80s cast in there. You have the big bully, but he's kind of a goofball. And then you have the sexy delusional girl. And then you have the jock.
Linnea Quigley.
Hell yeah, baby. You got Linnea Quigley in it.
Wait, I don't even think I had that on the screen. But okay, there it is.
Now you do.
But yeah, just that whole strobe light dance scene is so, I don't know. There's so many things about this movie that just encapsulates everything I love. Just gore, comedy. I don't know. It's got it all.
It goes in directions that it was kind of too bold for the 80s, but they did it anyway because of, the shoestring budget that they were probably on. But it's just a fun, campy 80s horror movie. And like you said, a perfect balance of horror, comedy, good practical effects. It's gooey in some parts. It's kind of gross, but that's the appeal.
Yeah, I think 86 to 88. That might be like the 3 best years of horror movies ever. It
I
just
think
seems like big yawn. Oh, that was a good point.
I was just doing my Burt Kreischer impression.
Oh, please don't. We'll end this podcast right
Well,
now.
I don't even know who said that. No, I would love to like go through each for potential episodes as break down like each year and talk about what favorites from each year. Decades would be too broad, but yeah, 86 to 88, that's you narrowed it down a whole lot there.
Yeah, I just feel like there's so many just heaters that came out in that time. It just seems like the sweet spot of the 80s.
Yeah, when the weirdness really hit their stride.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be an interesting episode. Okay.
Night of the Demons, though, totally approve of that on this list.
Yeah, way to go, Variety. I thought it was just going to be like, mainstream.
The Exorcist.
Yeah. Number 17, Trick or Treat, 1986. Sammy Kerr. Any thoughts, Doug?
I hate to say that I've never seen this one.
Hell yes.
This is one that I keep hearing about. I've seen Trick or Treat. I've seen Trick or Treats.
Sure.
I have never seen Trick or Treat. Just because I can never find it. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time. I haven't found it on tape. I haven't really found it like on streaming anywhere.
Well,
but
if you find it on tape, you're going to have to drop about 75-ish up to 150. I've seen it go for.
Except for you, because you found it for a absolute steal in a random bin of tapes for like $1.
And I sold it last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Hey, I needed some money. So
it happens, baby.
Sold it at Fear Fest. Had to make some money back. So sometimes you got to let your cherished babies go.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you got to watch that. You would love it.
I mean, it marries metal and Halloween, and you got Ozzy in there.
I can confidently say you would love this movie. It's got like the same sort of kind of rock and roll and gore attitude as like the Lost Boys or kind of Fright Night, that kind of just fun horror vibe.
Now, is it like a musical?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a musical based on the cover. Same thing happened when I watched Phantom of the Paradise. I didn't know it was a musical until the opening number, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like a weird like horror musical.
Yeah, if you want me to start questioning something, just say, hey, it's a musical. And be like, ah, shit.
So Joker 2?
Yeah, that doesn't really sell me on it. And I find a lot of parts of the trailer to be a bit cringe, but
still gonna see it.
I can just see the Facebook memes already. Like, I'm loyal as hell, but if you piss me off, I'll come kick your ass.
Lady Gaga with the gun to her head. I'm the wrong bitch to mess with.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And then the next caption is like, my sister went to jail. I gotta bail her out. Okay.
Don't piss off Mama Bear, because I love my kids and I'll whoop your ass.
I'm the father of a scrapbooker.
Born in July.
Born on the 4th of July, to be exact.
Never underestimate men born in October that listen to Shinedown.
This is American-made steel from the Mack Truck Company. Sure, buddy. I wear shorts in December. You can't tell me nothing.
Okay. Cool, so, Trick or Treat, 1986. Please go watch it, Doug. Let me know what you think.
It's on the fucking list.
All right. Add it to the list. All right, number 16. Scream 6. It is technically a Halloween movie. If you recall, they go to that Halloween party.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's one of the 21 best Halloween movies.
I can't think of a single other movie set on Halloween that feels like less of a Halloween movie than this. It's like, oh yeah, it was Halloween.
It feels more like Yom Kippur than Halloween. I'm not sure anyone who when they think of Halloween, they think of Scream 6. Aside from people wearing costumes in the subway, it's not really Halloween related.
Oh yeah, when they're on the Party City Express. Yeah.
And you see the very, very cheap costumes of, wow, look, Ready or Not. Would have never guessed the guys who wrote Ready or Not wanted to put an Easter egg of their own shitty movie in there.
Yeah, they God. Do we have to talk about Scream 6 again?
I think no. I think people at Variety literally had like a simultaneous like stroke, and they accidentally hit a typo on the keyboard. They meant to write Scream, and they just hit 6.
Well, I guess we do have to talk about this really quick. But it was announced today that Scream 7 is coming out February 2026.
February 27th, 2026. That is the official date for that. Probably pushing it to 2026 because only Nev Campbell signed on to it.
And apparently Courtney Cox is coming back. Thank God. I was starting to get worried.
You know, whatever happened, we wouldn't find out what happened to Gail in her big luxury apartment with her big football player boyfriend who got tackled by a teenager. Would have never known what happened to that.
Kevin Williamson directing.
Also not really.
Which means nothing to me. That they just did that to try and cover their ass for what they did to Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, and initially to Nev Campbell, like not giving her the pay she deserves.
Yeah, they basically said, fuck you, Nev Campbell, came to her doorstep crying with a truckload of money, hopefully.
So now they're like, hey fans, Kevin Williamson, Nev Campbell.
Yeah, and you know who doesn't know about Kevin Williamson? Casual fans.
That's true.
And also he directed like one movie, Teaching Miss Tingle, in the 90s. Again, Kevin Williamson brought this world to life, so maybe his suckage won't suck that much. Directing wise, I just
won't suck. I like that.
Keep that bookmarked for a t-shirt or something. I'm just confused. Maybe you're confused too about this. Why didn't they sign him on to write the movie?
I don't know.
Did Guy Busick and those like Ready or Not guys wanna like they wouldn't surrender control maybe, or the script was written already? Because those guys have failed monumentally with the writing of the last two Scream movies.
Wait, what has Guy Busick written?
The other Scream movies.
Oh God, yeah. Ready or Not, Abigail.
Yikes.
Yep. Shit.
Yeah, it's kind of bad news. Yeah, I mean, maybe Kevin Williamson's directing could elevate the material, but again, it's a lot of elevating they need to do because the writing is just so one-dimensional writing.
Yeah, Guy Busick. I'd rather have Gary Busey. Jesus.
Honestly, can we get Gary Busey to write some crazy Scream story?
So, Scream 7. Yay. Here's my prediction. The trailer will look pretty decent. We're going to say, hey, okay. Nev Campbell, not too bad. The movie, I just know it's going to fucking suck.
I can't imagine.
Just know it.
Dude, when a franchise goes this long, you're bound to just keep running on steam.
Become a parody of what the original Scream was making fun of.
And they think that's cute with the whole meta on meta aspect. Like, it's been done already. It's what the franchise was about. But when you do it in such a hacky way that you're like, it's just not coming from like a real place. Like you could be a fan of something, and like I'm sure, these guys were Scream fans, like Guy Busick and the Ready or Not guys, Radio Silence. But their humor and their sensibilities don't fit into the Scream world properly. Again, I love Scream. If I was chosen to write Scream, I probably couldn't do a great job.
Well, I think it's just a story that it's just done. Like there's nothing new to do with it.
They could have brought Nev Campbell back as a lead role in the 5th one and just end it. Like just wrap up the story. But then you have these like the Billy had illegitimate kids with some random girl. It's like no one cared. No one's connected to that story.
Ghost Skeet. I still can't believe they did that.
Look at me, I'm Rubberface. Just like,
look, and of course, I know a lot of our listeners like Scream 6, and hey, cool, whatever. But let me ask you this: when's the last time you watched it? Did you see it once in theaters and like, yeah, that was fun? Go back and rewatch it after you already know what's gonna happen. It is atrocious on rewatch. Respectfully.
I've watched it way too many times against my will, and I will never watch Scream 6 again.
Hey, our watch-along episode is up on YouTube if you missed it. That was actually pretty fun. That was a good day.
That was hilarious. That was a good time. We could just watch shitty movies all day and comment on them. That's what we do regularly.
Yeah, we got to do another watch-along soon. Okay.
We have some stuff in the chamber.
Moving on. Ghostface with a shotgun. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, I will say, hey!
Now we're talking.
That's your favorite go-to for the Halloween season?
Yeah, I mean, I have to watch Ernest Scared Stupid at least once every year. I grew up watching this movie. I love it. I miss Jim Varney dearly. What is your history with this movie, Doug?
I watched a couple of the Ernest movies when I was like a very small kid. Maybe like, I don't know, 7 or 8. My friend TJ Crosby. I used to go over his house all the time. 36 Hollyhock Road, Levittown, New York, 11756.
Very detailed.
Watched Tommy Boy for the first time there, Heavyweights for the first time there, Good Burger, and Ernest Scared Stupid. I remember them. I don't remember them that well. I haven't watched it that much, honestly, but I remember being really into it.
When's the last time you watched it? When you were like 6 years old?
Probably in middle school.
Okay.
Like maybe like 13. Like I've seen it a couple times. Jim Varney is such a perfect goofball that like it just makes you feel warm and cozy when he's going through all these wild situations.
When you rewatch it, it's there's like some pretty scary shit for a kids movie. I mean, the troll itself is hideous and done by the Kyoto brothers.
Oh,
from Killer Clowns.
That's wonderful.
And I don't know if you
still got work.
Know this fun little fact, but a few of the trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid are reused Killer Clowns, just repainted.
Oh, no, I did not know that. I really need to go back and do this homework and watch Ernest Scared Stupid. But it's like one of those Halloween movies I feel like that's just like it's a fun time.
It is.
You can put it on for the family, put it on for, good solid date night of eating pasta and watching movies.
It has good atmosphere also. The set design is good. They've got like Halloween decorations up all over town.
How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips?
All right, good pick, variety. Moving on to number 14, Terrifier 2.
Wow. They're really trying to stay relevant with this pick.
Okay. I mean, that's valid. It takes place on Halloween. It does have decent atmosphere.
Yeah, especially when he's walking through like the carnival at night with like the trash bag full of razors and whatnot. I would argue the original Terrifier should be on this list just because it's more of a straightforward slasher movie that really puts you in the Halloween atmosphere, as opposed to Terrifier 2 is just a little long in the tooth. You know, there's a lot of gruesome stuff in it.
I don't know. I think Terrifier 2 is light years beyond the first.
Really?
Yeah. As far as like story wise and acting and just being a solid movie. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first one, you know, it's iconic at this point, has some great kills, but as far as story, there's really not one.
That's what I kind of like about it, though. It was just like if we didn't make more Terrifier movies, that would be a great standalone slasher movie. If they didn't end it with, you know, him getting electrocuted and he's like a paranormal entity, you find out. I enjoyed them expanding the story in Terrifier 2. But as 21, like, if we're going with best Halloween movies, I would, again, personally, I would put 1 over 2. But again, debatable. Like,
Sure.
2 is still great.
Terrifier 3 comes out in 10 days.
Next week, baby.
I was looking at the Alamo earlier, like just seeing what was coming up, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, is there an early showing or something? It's like,
October
no,
10th.
It comes out then.
Yeah.
Just
It's
snuck
wild
up
that
on
we're
me.
here already.
Yeah. But yes, very excited for that. All right, Doug, on to the next.
Hit him up, baby.
If my mouse will work, it's kind of hard to just maneuver this mouse around with my broken hand.
Where's Mipsy at? Get your assistant out here.
Oh, she's over there being cute. Okay. 13, Casper. Okay.
You know what?
I've never seen this.
You've never seen Casper?
Never saw Casper.
Wow. I got locked in the room by a babysitter, and me and my sister watched this movie in like 1995.
It counts.
It really is a very wholesome ghost story. It's really sad, not gonna lie, but it's spooky. I mean, you have some really fun villains in there. Christina Ricci is great. Devon Sawa is great. Super Halloween atmosphere in this movie, and this one really leans into the Halloween spirit, pun intended.
All right.
Like one of those classic Halloween animated movies that's just good to throw on in the background if you really want to feel yourself getting into the Halloween, you know, season. I put Casper up there. Casper deserves to be on this list.
All right. You know what? I'll add it to my list. You got a list?
Hell
I'm
yeah,
starting
baby.
One.
We gotta compare letterbox lists.
But yeah, it's iconic. I know it has its fans.
Yeah, just because a movie isn't, you know, super scary doesn't mean it shouldn't be on
sure.
the best Halloween movie list.
I don't think this is on this list, but as far as atmosphere, set design, and all that, Hubie Halloween, fucking great.
Honestly, not gonna lie, I don't mind that movie.
I like it.
I thought that was like stupid fucking movie, but it was a fun time. Like even the opening, like I feel like the opening, it's like the opening to like a song. Like you want to like really impact people with like just the opening, like because that kind of reaches a lot of people.
What was the opening again?
He's just riding his bike around town, and people are dressed up in costumes. And it just feels like 90s Halloween.
Sure.
So I feel like if you like you're always, you know, if you're flipping through the station and you see that, I would be like, huh, what's this? Rather than, you know, just maybe flipping through it. You need a good hook for the beginning of a song, beginning of a movie.
Another movie that just popped in my head when you were saying all that, Monster House. It's not on this list.
I've never seen Monster House either.
Yeah.
And we did actually have a person come up to us at the booth at Terracon. What? Tidewater HorrorCon and talk about Monster House.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Who was that? Wasn't it just some person that was like, have you guys ever seen Monster House? Which is a random movie to ask.
I don't remember.
I was like, hell yes, I have. I literally just rewatched it like, a week before the con. So
Yeah, I gotta watch that one.
okay, number 12, Idle Hands, another Devon Sawa.
I made the list twice. What are your thoughts on this movie? Because this, I feel like, is a movie that's not really spoken about outside of like the horror community and whatnot. But it's a really fun time.
I've noticed that it definitely has its fans, specifically in the horror space. But as far as like mainstream, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's one of those creature features that kind of go under the radar.
Would you call it a creature feature?
I consider it like a creature feature because you got the hand.
Well, it's a hand.
That's
It's not the substance.
That's true. That would be wild if that was rummaging through a high school. Yeah, it's a fun time. I think this movie really brings a lot of that, like, that classic 90s humor that's not so polished. It's edgy. You got like the stoner kids and they're just all hanging out. They're fun to watch. You have Jessica Alba.
That's right. Yeah.
Jessica Alba's in there. She's great in it.
I mean, Seth Green is always good.
Yes. And Eldon Henson, who is well, I know him from like Daredevil. He was in Butterfly Effect.
That's right.
That's right, baby. Just a good cast all around and just a fun premise. Like, I feel like stuff like that doesn't really get made anymore.
Yeah, I got to rewatch that soon, actually. Good atmosphere. It does feel like a Halloween movie. Shot in the same neighborhood as Halloween, by the way. Pasadena.
Oh, we should have visited that house. I didn't even think about it.
Next time.
And there will be a next time, Daddy-O. I watched Idle Hands religiously in like 8th, 9th grade. That was like my movie. This rap group I was in called Horror Show. We had this song. Yeah, really.
Wait. Do you have any footage of this?
Yeah, I have like pictures and whatnot.
All right.
Like
Send
old
them to me.
promo pictures. Yeah.
I'll drop them in.
Oh, great. I will not be regretting that. But yeah, we had this song called Methods of Madness. And in the intro, it was the chainsaw revving up and him going,
Oh, look at me, I'm Leatherface.
And the song started.
That's
I
cool.
actually have the song. I can send you the song.
Please do.
It's not great.
All right. Idle Hands. Good pick. Moving along to number 11. We've got Sleepy Hollow. Now, yes, great atmosphere. Does this take place on Halloween, though?
Dude, I've seen this movie like so long ago.
I saw this in theaters, actually.
Did you? How old were you in 1999?
11, 12.
Do you remember who took you?
I do not. I think my dad.
That's pretty adorable.
But yeah, I loved it then. And I probably watch that at least once a year. There's something about it it's just comforting. The atmosphere of it, the score by Danny Elfman. I love the credits when he's just traveling through the countryside. And
I'm going to have to rewatch it because this is a movie that I really don't remember. I've watched the like the Adventures of Ichabod Crane or like the animated Sleepy Hollow with Ichabod Crane.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that movie so much. But I really don't remember the live action Sleepy Hollow.
Wow, that's surprising.
I'm just not a huge Johnny Depp guy.
Well, I love some 90s Johnny Depp. That's like prime Johnny Depp, but he's great in the movie. It has some good comedy in it as well. Yeah, great movie. I bet I've watched that at least like 20, 30 times. In my
Damn,
life.
that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't Christopher Walken in it too?
Yes, he is.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I gotta add that to the list for spooky season.
Added to the list. All right. Okay, we are getting into the top 10. These are the heavy hitters.
Or should be. All right, I mean, did we go to another article?
The Karate Kid?
I mean, I
look,
get it, but like,
I'm not saying it's certainly not a bad movie. It's a great
no,
movie.
it's an awesome movie.
But I think there's like, unless I'm mistaken, isn't there only like one scene that takes place on Halloween when they're in the skeleton costumes? And
Yeah, and there's like a whole crew of people in costume. But if you go back to that article real quick, it said, and I quote, "And hey, a pivotal scene does take place on Halloween." Yeah, I don't think one scene can qualify you for a list of best Halloween movies. There's so many others to choose from that should be in this list. If anything, this could have been at the top of the list. At number 10?
If your explanation begins with, and hey, a pivotal scene does take place on Halloween, just stop.
That disqualifies your credentials right there.
And hey.
Again, Karate Kid,
nothing.
we all love Daniel LaRusso, kicking ass and everything, sweeping the leg, but he's not sweeping pumpkins. He's not sweeping pumpkin seeds out here.
Yeah, that's just a bad pick.
He's not TPing, his elementary school.
That was one of those writers just trying to be like contrarian. He's like, well, when you think about it, there is a scene. All right, number 9.
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses is one of the movies that I would show someone if they were like, I've never seen a horror movie. I've never seen movies that are based around Halloween or just kind of spooky. I would show them House of a Thousand Corpses. This is the movie that Rob Zombie gets right.
All but, look, for me, once they go underground into Dr. Satan's lair after they're lowered down, it falls apart for me. The ending of this movie sucks. It's like Rob Zombie just didn't know how to end it. He's like, well, I guess have them run around in this underground lair, and I don't fucking know, it collapses. And
I kind of like that they were, hosting a mini underground dungeon to Dr. Satan. Yeah, it's definitely messy. I like the
final scene where Otis pops up out of the back seat,
and you get the down and that freeze frame.
Yeah.
Just like really good. Like House of a Thousand Corpses has really, really interesting characters as like a like iconic horror movie. As iconic horror movies go. Really good atmosphere, really good characters.
Set design.
Set design is wonderful. Weird, just weird.
Yeah.
And it's like crass for all the right reasons. It was meant to be.
I love some of the little, I don't know,
little vignettes.
Interludes or whatever you want to call them. Like, this is hell. This is hell.
It's just weird.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is, I think, Rob Zombie's masterpiece. He really had a vision. He stuck with it, and that is a Rob Zombie movie. Nothing can take away from that. And it's just super eerie and creepy, and nothing good happens in this movie.
You know what, though? The Lords of Salem, as far as Halloween atmosphere, might give this one a run for its money. Because it was shot in Salem during Halloween, and it feels like it. It feels cold and
yeah, very autismal.
Mm-hmm.
When Sherry Moon is walking outside of the radio station, walking
autumnal.
Autismal?
Autumnal?
Is that not a word?
Are you thinking of autism?
Maybe I'm combining those words. I thought it was autismal.
I think it's autumnal.
Autumnal. You're probably right. I don't really.
I might be wrong.
We can check Webster right now. Yeah, I don't know why autismal sounded right in my head. Are you looking up?
Okay, it's slang for autistic.
Oh, really?
That's what Wiktionary says.
Wiktionary. You got to go to Webster, baby.
But yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah, I love it.
House of a Thousand Autistics is what I really meant to say.
There you go. Dude, I used to wear out this DVD back in the day.
Yeah, it's for 2003, it really hits hard. 2003 or 2004?
He shot it in 2000 and it wasn't released until 2003.
Oh, okay. Wow, interesting. I wonder why it got shelved for that long.
Distribution. I think Universal was going to release it to begin with, and then Rob said something in the press like, yeah, I guess Universal doesn't have any morals, so they're going to release it, and that pissed them off. So he had to shop it around, and eventually Lionsgate picked it up. I think that's how the story goes.
Well, that in that context, maybe they should Universal should have lightened up a little bit. Rob Zombie is obviously kidding.
That movie started because Rob Zombie did a Halloween Horror Nights. He essentially created that story for Horror Nights, and that's kind of where the first seed was planted of House of a Thousand Corpses.
And then did he write the song based on it for the Halloween Horror Nights too, or?
I don't know. Yeah, classic song, great theme.
Yeah, good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Killer soundtrack.
So, needless to say, we love this movie. Good pick, Variety.
I would love it if it was higher, but we'll take number 9.
Moving right along to number 8.
Nothing happened.
Huh? Oh. What?
Donnie Darko at number 8.
Oh, Donnie Darko, number 8.
We did talk about this movie before, and I have nothing to say.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It wouldn't be my first pick for Halloween. I mean, it's definitely more Halloween than The Karate Kid. It's a great movie. I've seen it several times, but it doesn't really come to mind when I think Halloween. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I just know that Jake Gyllenhaal wears a skeleton costume and there's a large bunny. That's about all I got.
Yeah, that's about the only thing as far as Halloween goes. So, once again, while a great movie, I don't know why it's top 10.
You can watch this movie. Yeah, like Variety needs to, weed out what's really Halloween and what's not.
Yeah.
You can watch Donnie Darko in fucking February.
All right, moving along to number 7. E.T. What do you think about this pick?
I mean, it's a great and magical movie. I just don't see how it's a Halloween movie.
There's that word, autumnal.
Oh, you were right, baby. I was thinking of autism, and you were thinking of autumn.
Hey, same thing.
E.T., the extra autistic. Yeah, I like this movie a whole lot. Obviously, it's very atmospheric. The way Steven Spielberg shot it, it does make you feel warm and cozy. But yeah, Halloween movie. I mean,
so
just wouldn't put it up there.
Okay, so I know I'm going to get shit for this, but this is my ultimate I haven't seen this yet movie.
Damn.
I've never seen E.T.
Any reason? Do you just hate fun?
No.
Do you just hate Steven Spielberg?
It slipped by me my entire youth somehow. I've been saying forever, yeah, I know I need to watch it. But I just never think about it when I'm like, hey, what's something I've never seen? I'm writing it down right now, and I'm literally going to watch it tonight. I hope it blows my mind.
I almost wish that it was playing at like the Alamo or something, so you could see it on the big screen first.
Yeah, I know.
And I never saw it on the big screen either, but I saw it as a kid, and I saw it like numerous times on television and stuff like that. There's a reason why Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and this movie proves it. It's like movie magic to a T. Like when you think, I've been hearing about E.T. ever since I came out of the womb. Like,
yeah, I feel like I have seen it because I know so much. I know a lot of things from the movie.
Yes.
So
the Reese's and the bike.
Yeah, so it almost feels like I've already seen it. So maybe that's why I've never said, hey, I need to watch it. It was kind of like my Titanic. I finally sat down for the first time a few months ago and was like, all right, let me watch Titanic.
Titanic's a great fucking movie. I wish I could break out. It's not going to happen. I can't break out it's way too far now. But Titanic is really solid. James Cameron, also another great filmmaker. But yeah, dude, E.T., I mean, atmospherically, yeah, it's an amazing movie. It's an amazing film, but Halloween movie, I just wouldn't put it on this deep into the list of best Halloween movies. It's a good autumn movie, like something to watch around September, even Christmas, like this time period, autumn, but not Halloween.
Yeah, we got to talk
Or
to these
specifically Halloween
jabronis at Variety.
We should be writing for Variety. Hire us.
You know what? We should have come up with our own list before this episode, but
we could do that on another episode.
There we go.
The Spook House Podcast, quintessential Halloween movies.
All right, moving right along to number 6. Hey, okay.
That's what I'm talking about right here, Daddy.
Pumpkinhead. I mean, I am honestly surprised this is this high. Good job, Variety. However, be honest, I know we both love this movie, but do you think Halloween, or do you think Pumpkinhead, when you're thinking, what's a good Halloween atmosphere movie? Does this come to mind?
Honestly, once it gets past like the desert portion of the movie, like with the convenience store and whatnot, yeah, when they're in the woods and they're out in the cabin, and then Lance Henriksen visits like the gypsy woman.
Yeah.
Very Halloween-y, very foggy, very desolate. The wooded area just makes me think of like, old, like, Sleepy Hollow or like Hansel and Gretel or some like old Halloween tale. So yeah, once it gets into that stuff, and I just hate that this article starts with murderous pumpkin man. It's like, all right, go a little deeper than that. Just because it's a pumpkin man killing people doesn't necessarily mean it's the best Halloween movie, but yeah, maybe I wouldn't put it high on the list, but I do think about Halloween when I think about Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
This is a solid creature feature for Halloween. So I would say, it belongs on some list.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, shout out to Variety for at least acknowledging Pumpkinhead and not putting, I don't know, Forrest Gump or something in here. Well, when you think about it, there was once.
He ran through Missouri when Halloween was happening. Good job,
All
Variety.
right. Top 5.
Now we're getting into the real bangers.
These are the big dogs.
Head honchos.
Halloween 3. Okay.
Let's go, baby. I'll take number 5.
Can't be mad at this. We already talked about it at the beginning. But yes, this movie just oozes Halloween atmosphere. Soundtrack, cinematography. It's a movie about Halloween mask. I mean, come on.
Yeah, everything about it screams Halloween. Understandable why it's in the Halloween franchise. It is one of the quintessential Halloween movies of all time, in my opinion. Everything about it just makes you feel cozy. Everything about it. I mean, the mystery of I mean, granted, the story is just interesting. There's mystery in it, which I think is, is kind of tailored towards the Halloween season. I feel like to be in this list, there has to be some type of mystery involved in the story, because Halloween is mysterious and devious, kind of, it's been tradition like that. And this movie has it all.
Tom Atkins fucking kicks ass. I love it. I still have, so I have my picture with Tom Atkins on my fridge. It's on like the side of my fridge. So every morning I make my coffee, I see that picture. Always makes me smile.
It's just a little old grandpa greeting you every single day.
Yeah, it looks like
a good feeling.
It looks like a picture with my grandpa. I love it. It's very wholesome. All right, moving along to number 4.
This is going to sound hot topic of me, but I'm a ride or die for this movie. I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
I like it too. And
I don't care.
I mean, I'm not mad at this pick.
Yeah, it's I mean, again, I hate to even bring up like is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I also hate the argument, is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or a Christmas movie? It's fucking both. It's in the title.
Yeah.
I've watched this movie so many fucking times until my eyes have bled. I've loved this movie way before Hot Topic got a hold of it. So I have to say I love this movie and I love the Halloween atmosphere in this movie. It's actually terrifying for a kid to watch. The animation is flawless. Tim Burton and Henry Selick like completely outdid themselves with the stop motion. And when I think about Halloween, I do think about this movie.
Okay, all very valid points. I love this movie a lot more when I was... Jesus, that was a violent sneeze.
Yeah, when you're in your 30s where you sneeze like Ebenezer Scrooge, just like an old man, and it just kind of sprays everywhere. But we covered our nose, baby.
But yes, I watched this more when I was a teen. I don't revisit it that much these days. I think it's because it's just like the merchandising.
Yeah.
It's just so in your face. It's everywhere. And yeah, I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah, it is. I won't deny that it is overplayed for sure. Like when you see like a group of kids with like a Jack Skellington, black and white striped, a bunch of hats. It's like, all right, take it easy. But I've seen this movie so many times, but the last time that I've watched Nightmare Before Christmas, my stepmom put it on just randomly when, we were all kind of like hanging out after dinner. And I just found myself still like enthralled in the world. So I was like, yeah, this movie it just still holds up as one of the great Halloween movies.
Did you have the DVD when you were younger?
Yes, I had. Well, I watched it on tape originally and was petrified of it. And then, so I always kind of had the movie around my house, no matter where I was. I always had like the tape to begin with. Then I had the DVD, and then that soundtrack or whatever. Do you remember that soundtrack when it was like metal takes over Nightmare Before Christmas, and like Korn did This Is Halloween?
Oh, yeah. Kidnap a Santa Claus.
It's perfect. So yeah, I had a lot of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I used to watch the special features on the DVD all the time. All the bonus content, showing them on the sets and everything. I was just always fascinated by that stuff.
The way they interconnect all the pieces, and they put the cameras like under the table where they built like the stop motion world. It's like, what? Like, this is no wonder why it took forever to make this movie.
A suitcase full of Jack Skellington
with all the facial expressions. Absolute genius.
I wonder where that is.
Oh, I it would be, I know they have some place in Brooklyn called the Museum of Moving Arts. They have a Jim Henson exhibit there that's just like year round, but they do like different exhibits throughout the year. I wonder, and Tim Burton has a exhibit at the MoMA. I wonder if that stuff ever gets like recycled there or just like gets shown there to some degree. I have to look into it.
Yeah, who knows? But you know what? It's a valid pick. I've come around to it.
Imagine having a suitcase full of Jack Skellington heads.
It's just when I saw that title, I just pictured like a beat to shit 2001 Celica with a Jack Skellington sticker on the back.
Like a Sally chain wallet from Hot Topic.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you remember the beanie that Corey Taylor used to wear during
That's exactly what I was referencing earlier. That I hate that beanie.
I would never wear it now, but I had that exact same one in high school because
I'm sure you did.
I had to get it because, 2002, height of Slipknot fandom. I was like, I got to get that fucking beanie.
You just wanted to be Corey Taylor.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. He's a good role model nowadays.
All right, moving along. Top 3.
Get into that top 3, Daddy-O. Wow. Okay. Do you have any predictions? Halloween has to be on this list somewhere, if not number 1.
That's a given. I skimmed through this list last week, but I don't remember number 2. But number 3. Here we go. We'll find out together. Trick or Treat 2007. I'm okay with that.
For some reason, it's not a movie I put on a lot. Fun fact, this is the last movie I rented at Blockbuster before Blockbuster tanked, and I had I never returned it. I still had the DVD. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, I mean, this is good to have on the list. It definitely got recognition over the years as a cult classic. But for some reason, it's a movie I never go back to. I don't know why, and I like the movie.
I think I watch it at least once a year. Much like Nightmare Before Christmas merchandising, I'm over it.
Yeah. We get it. Sam is a horror icon.
I was in Spirit earlier today. Hunting
Why?
For that,
you do that to yourself.
I'm hunting for the Halloween 2 jack-o'-lantern. That's the only thing I want.
All right. For you, I will check my Spirit Halloween, and if I see it, I will buy it and send it to you.
Please do. Because I've went to 3 different Spirits looking for it. Couldn't find it. But, once again, new year, new trick-or-treat merchandise. They just keep pumping it out. And it's at a point where they've been teasing a sequel for ever. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we did a horror news episode back in maybe around March or something, where there was a news story like Michael Dougherty says Trick or Treat 2 is coming. Not a thing since. It happens every year. And it's just, I'm frustrated more than anything. It's like, are you doing it or not? If you're not, maybe stop pumping out merchandise just for a little bit.
Yeah, and he must be getting a cut a little bit. Again, this could be, this is his baby.
Get your money, do your thing.
Exactly. But also, the movie is in demand. You have a lot of hope with indie horror nowadays, with Terrifier 2 being as big as it is now. I went to go see My Old Ass with Brittany the other day, and they have like the window paintings. Art the Clown is on there. Like, he's such a staple in the horror movie world that like Trick or Treat is in that upper echelon now. Drive-ins are playing it, theaters are playing it, and it never had a theatrical run, and it just got a theatrical run last year, along with Terrifier.
Back in the day, it showed in like, from what I remember hearing, 1 theater, but they shot it in, I want to say 2007.
It came out in 2007.
Okay, well, they shot it before that, released in 2007. So my question is, if you could, on a timeline, find the point that Trick or Treat took off to what it is now, when do you think that would be?
Ooh.
I think it was around like 20. I think I saw it for the first time in 2011, 12,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah, there's been a lot of word of mouth over the years, so it's hard to say like when
Yeah, and even back
actually
then,
took off.
not a lot of people had seen it.
Yeah, especially with like, I mean, I guess it all depends too on when it became available on streaming, because I saw it, I rented it at Blockbuster. The cover art looked cool, and me and my friends watched it. We're like, whoa, this is really rad.
Yeah.
And that was just a movie that we just knew about. And then I don't really know if it went to Netflix when Netflix became a thing after, Blockbuster, or during that transitional period. I don't really know. I would definitely say closer to when you saw it, like maybe 2012, 2015-ish.
Okay, so it came out on DVD October 6, 2009. So somewhere around there, it started to grow in popularity. But now it's like, when did the fucking explosion happen? Because you see it everywhere.
I think once it became available on like whatever streaming service, the same thing like Terrifier, people were curious about it. They played it. They loved it. Then all of a sudden, people found like a new...
As for the movie itself, being one of the best Halloween movies of all time, I kind of have to agree. I mean, if you just look at it from like set design perspective, how much of a focus it is on Halloween, it's hard to argue with it. I do love the movie, but much like Nightmare Before Christmas, please stop. Unless you want to give us a new movie.
Trick or Treat 2 has been in demand for a hot minute. There's no way it wouldn't make at least like $6 million at the box office. I mean, or more.
Make way more than that.
I was being a little modest.
But, of course, Michael Dougherty, they were like, hey, come direct, what was it, King Kong or something?
Yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to see him go back to the horror roots.
Same thing with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The merchandising. I love that movie dearly. It's probably a top fiver for me, but you're pushing it. Like,
we're never getting a sequel to Killer Clowns. It's not going to happen.
So yeah, Trick or Treat number 3. Okay.
I will agree with you as well. This is definitely up there as best Halloween movies.
That's fair. All right, Doug. 2 left.
Top 2, baby.
We know what 1 has to be. So.
Or maybe they might do the edgy thing and okay.
Number 2, Hocus Pocus.
I wouldn't necessarily put it on my list. I get the impact that it had on society and the Halloween culture and why it has to be on the list somewhere. I don't agree with the placement. Number 2 is a little high.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
I would almost like The Witches in number 2 rather than Hocus Pocus. But again, I understand.
I mean, thanks to the Disney Channel, yeah, this movie does have a nostalgic place for people. Anytime there's a family movie night at the park thing,
yeah,
anywhere during the Halloween season, they're
Hocus
showing
Pocus is always on there.
Yeah. Do you like this movie? Is it one that when's the last time you watched it?
I don't even think I've ever seen the whole thing. If I have, it was definitely years and years ago. Maybe in like high school or middle school. So I'm honestly shocked that this list has a lot of stuff that I haven't really seen.
I'm shocked that you just haven't seen it recently because you've been like kind of forced to, like, just somehow. It's kind of like the shitty songs that you're forced to listen to over and over again. You don't choose to listen to them, but they're just there.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is not one of them.
Hocus Pocus is the AC/DC of horror.
It's loud and always in your ear, and you kind of just want it to stop. But it's fine if it's in the background. If there's other stuff going on, you can have
never
it.
seek out to watch Hocus Pocus, but it's just there.
But to some degree, dude, people base their whole personality on Hocus Pocus. There's a lot of diehard Hocus Pocus fans.
And I mean, I guess it is like the number one Halloween pick for. Sorry to keep waving this fucking cast around. Jesus.
Take my strong hand.
It's like, it's like the number one pick for like the Facebook moms.
Oh yeah.
Side of things. Like, oh yeah, I love Hocus Pocus. That movie's funny.
It is the epitome of drink up witches.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, spooky season with the cute little like spiders and the Wayfarer font. Definitely that crowd is into Hocus Pocus.
All of that aside, just from a subjective perspective here, I do like the movie. Okay. Like it's not amazing, but it does have good atmosphere.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
Set design, being in Salem. Sure. I'm not mad at it. It wouldn't be in my personal top 10 even, but for variety.com, I get it.
It has to be on the list somewhere. If there was like a top 50 or top 100, which you could easily do, Hocus Pocus would be in there somewhere appropriately. Like
I never saw the sequel.
When they were like, all I remember was seeing trailers for it, and Kathy Ninjami or whatever was riding a Swiffer jet.
Oh, that's right.
Or like a Roomba. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that image out of my head.
And we made that joke before we saw the trailer. We were like, oh, I bet she's going to be riding a Swiffer.
And she was. Her Bluetooth powered Swiffer jet. It's like, all right, some movies you don't need to modernize too much. She could just ride an old fashioned broom.
Well, it's also only on Disney Plus, which I don't have and will never get. So there's that. I would watch it. Though.
I canceled Disney Plus.
Yeah. All right, Doug, we got one left. We pretty much already know what it is.
I mean, it has to be, right? Unless they're going to give us a swerve.
Okay, here we go.
The big reveal. Yeah.
Halloween.
What else can we say about Halloween that we haven't said already?
Yeah, you can't be mad at that pick.
No.
It's called Halloween. It has great atmosphere. You could argue, as far as atmosphere goes, it does feel very Southern California. I mean, they did the best they could with the fake leaves and everything and all the jack-o'-lanterns, but it does have a California summertime feel to it. I would say Halloween 4 or 6, as far as atmosphere goes, kind of beats it.
Wow. And you are a diehard Curse of Michael Myers fan. I mean, knowing where it's shot now, like in later years, like when you're a kid, you don't know, unless you go seeking out that information. I honestly wouldn't change a thing about it. I think this is one of those movies that is perfect if you even change the slightest camera angle, set, costume design, then it wouldn't be the same movie. It does feel like California, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that it has kind of this brisk autumn feel, that it's kind of still bright outside when like the sun is setting a little bit, and it's kind of dreary, and you really can't beat that atmosphere. For it's a typical choice to put Halloween as number one, but well deserved. This movie catapulted like a whole. John Carpenter made a masterpiece with Halloween.
Yeah, I'm certainly not knocking the movie or anything. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate here, just in terms of atmosphere, set design.
Yeah. But if this movie was filmed in Ohio, how well do you think the movie would have looked as opposed to the locations that they got for Halloween?
I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But even in the movie, there are some shots where there's palm trees in the very background. I mean, they did the best they could, and it has great atmosphere. I'm not knocking that at all. And I might even... This could easily be my number one pick as well. I'm just saying. I mean,
No.
There's moments in Halloween 6. They filmed that in Salt Lake City during the Halloween season, and you can just feel the cold.
Yes.
Like the trees look like fall. They're nice and empty. And
They should have just said that Haddonfield was in California.
yeah, I guess so.
Maybe due to the fact that, like, you know, they wanted it to be small town heavy. So it makes sense for the story. But, I mean, listen, it's a great argument to have that Halloween 4 feels more Halloween than Halloween. I mean, the opening scene literally puts you in the mindset of that season.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, all of the Halloween movies in the original run are probably like that.
Well, most of them.
I think Halloween 5 has a really good Halloween atmosphere. I think Halloween 2 might be the least, or maybe the late, like, Resurrection.
Oh, yeah. That's just devoid of anything. Yeah.
No atmosphere whatsoever.
No.
Might as well be at a Busta Rhymes concert.
But yes, that is the list.
Any honorable mentions? Obviously, when we make our list, there will be, because it probably won't be the same as this list. But just
you
any
mean on this list, or like what we would pick
on this list, or like just like Halloween picks that you would just throw out for like honorable mentions. That maybe Variety should have replaced. I think Karate Kid should be replaced with something.
I know I'm gonna think of others. You know what? Lady in White. That has great Halloween atmosphere. Did you ever see that?
I have not.
I watched it for the first time recently. It's kind of it's almost like a kid's movie. It's more of like a ghost story, but it's from the 80s. Actually, in terms of feeling, it feels very much like Halloween 4. Just the atmosphere and set design of it.
Who directed it? Is it just some random Hollywood director?
Let's see. I don't know. What about you? Any mentions?
House on Haunted Hill would probably be in there
Okay.
with Vincent Price. I feel like you have to have those classic ghost stories in there.
Frank LaGaggia?
Frank Loja?
La Loge?
Frank LaLoja.
Yeah, I don't know. He's from New York, Rochester.
Yeah, baby, that's an Italian name if I ever fucking heard one.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just popped in my head when I thought of Halloween movies. Hubie Halloween. That should be up there.
Honestly, one of the better modern day Halloween films. It's very goofy.
Yeah, other than that, I don't know. Do you have any?
Maybe something like The Blob. Like the 1988 Blob, like just like a good old creature feature.
Is that set on Halloween?
Probably not, but
Oh, okay. So we're just naming movies.
oh, does it have to be centered around Halloween?
I mean, you know, Halloween decorations and shit.
Okay, then I really have to do some research.
Okay. No, it's all good. I mean, nothing's coming to mind right now, but I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll do some more Halloween-centric episodes or something.
We have plenty of ideas to go around, baby.
And it's only October 1st.
And you have a broken wrist, so we'll be recording a lot of episodes.
Yeah, got plenty of time to work on podcast stuff, that's for sure.
If anyone wants to buy a Spook House t-shirt or sweater, now's your chance.
Yes, please. Because I can't work right now and I don't have insurance. So
Look at Mipsy in the background. She's being cute.
Oh,
At least you have that to look forward to.
you said it, brother.
She is the saving grace
Look at that.
of the Spook House.
God,
She's spreading it out,
you know, she's just letting it hang out.
as she should. That is her house.
Oh, look at her.
When you were talking about how you can't work, I was like, look at Mipsy.
Hey, I got a mouth to feed over here.
Yeah, that's a hungry gal.
But yeah, if anybody wants some sweatshirts, I got plenty of them. It's getting cold out, so hit me up.
It's about to be the autismal season.
Autismal.
We're still going with that word.
All right, Doug, this was a fun episode.
Yeah, honestly,
This was good.
lists make me very happy. So the fact that we can break down a whole entire list for an hour and a half, I'm hard now.
All right. Hey, if you're hard, I'm hard.
Wouldn't want to be hard with anyone else.
I'm going to be hard with E.T. later because that's what I'm going to watch.
That's right, baby.
I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's like when you watch The Lost Boys, it's like, wow. I don't know. It's a big movie.
Yeah, the Lost Boys really kind of blew my mind. I was like, how did I miss seeing the Lost Boys for this long?
If only you had a friend for several years saying, hey, watch The Lost Boys.
And I did, and I appreciate your fulfillment of my needs.
Of course.
Still have
All
yet to
right.
watch Malignant, but
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll make it happen.
that'll be one of the watch-along episodes.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Doug, let's get out of here. I think we are both hungry, so we need to go eat some food. But
My stomach just sounded like an alien Romulus Remulus or whatever.
But yes, thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Let us know your favorite Halloween movies that weren't on this list. Something we haven't talked about. Comment below. I just heard your stomach. Was that your stomach?
That was my throat.
Oh, okay. It's like, roar.
It was like eat food. But yeah, like Phil said, we got merch up. If y'all want to buy that, follow us on the gram because we are constantly posting about stuff and news and updates on the channel, on new episodes, or just our, opinions and stupid whatever.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Yes.
If you haven't watched our interviews with Lachlan Monroe and Ron Fazio from Tidewater HorrorCon, that's also up there. Been getting a lot of good reception on that. And I just can't stop thinking about me and Phil doing a good job and killing it with them interviews. So can't wait for next year. But yeah, peep those if you haven't.
Well said, Douglas. All right, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Doug, as always, I love you.
I love you, Daddy-O.
And we love you for listening. We will catch you next time.